What are common mistakes when attempting sacrifice for accelerated development? When we think about sacrificing material in chess for quicker development, it is essential to recognize some common mistakes that players often make. Understanding these pitfalls can help you avoid losing material without gaining anything in return. Let's break down these errors one by one. First, many players sacrifice without a clear benefit. A sacrifice should lead to something tangible, like better piece activity or open lines. If you sacrifice and do not gain any advantage, you might just end up down material with no compensation. Next, once you have sacrificed, acting quickly is vital. Delaying your attack can allow your opponent to catch up in development. If they manage to complete their setup, your earlier initiative may vanish, leaving you at a disadvantage. Another mistake is underestimating your opponent's defensive resources. Sacrifices often aim to disrupt their position, but if you misjudge their ability to defend, you may find yourself overextended. If they can castle safely or reposition their pieces, your sacrifice might not create the pressure you expected. It is also important to remember basic principles before making a sacrifice. Sometimes players jump into sacrifices without considering king safety, piece coordination, or control of the center. Neglecting these fundamentals can lead to a backfire, making you vulnerable instead of putting your opponent under pressure. Additionally, sacrifices should target weaknesses. If you sacrifice without a plan to exploit your opponent's position, you may waste material. Always consider if your sacrifice exposes weaknesses or creates threats against their king or critical squares. Misjudging the value of what you sacrifice is another common error. Not all sacrifices carry the same weight. For instance, giving up a knight is a significant loss. If your opponent can quickly regain material or maintain a solid position, your sacrifice may not be effective. Finally, some sacrifices aim for long-term benefits rather than immediate attacks. However, if you miscalculate these long-term advantages, you might end up with a permanent material deficit and no positional compensation. To avoid these mistakes, evaluate your opponent's vulnerabilities before sacrificing. Ensure your pieces can quickly occupy open lines created by the sacrifice. Always calculate your follow-up moves to maintain pressure and prevent your opponent from consolidating. Avoid sacrifices in unclear situations unless you have strong tactical reasons. Use sacrifices as part of a well-thought-out plan rather than a desperate move. By steering clear of these common mistakes, you increase your chances of successfully using sacrifices to speed up your development and create a strong attack or advantageous position.